Hey you there, this is Timo Kotipelto from Stratovarius and you are watching Loud TV. Wow!
You're watching Loud TV. You're watching Loud TV. You're watching Loud
All right, we are joined here by Timo Kotipelto of Stratovarius. This is Loud TV and Joseph interviewing you here. First of all, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So after a 7-year gap between Eternal and Survive, did you see any change in crowd response or sales or anything like that for having that gap?
I think people really liked the last album. They were surprised and also actually we were surprised how good it turned out to be. And I think the biggest difference compared to this album and maybe some of the earliest ones was that somehow I feel there's much more energy on the album. It's more like raw, it's melodic, but it's more powerful. And now that we're playing live these new songs, because it used to be like, of course for other bands as well, that when they play some new songs, it's like, okay, when it's the old classic, but now it's like, we start with the new song and then there comes like, I think 1 or 2 new songs in the set. I don't know about today because we only play 45 minutes. I don't remember what it is exactly. But the reactions, it's like almost the same like for the old hits, and that's like wow. And so it seems people really like it.
So that's excellent.
Yeah.
In fact, that was part of my next question. Is, in my opinion, the latest release has a much, at least to my ear, a much heavier sound on the drums and the guitar specifically.
Yeah.
So you obviously feel like that's somewhat of the case. You said it's more raw, but what prompted that? What was and it sounds like you mentioned the reactions, the fan base is great, but what prompted that change, or was it just a more organic, natural thing?
I think this is the first time that we actually composed together in the whole history of Stratovarius, because in the past it was basically Mr. Tolkki composing most of the stuff, and then Jens had one song and maybe I had 1 or 2, but then again it was like composed by one individual. But now, especially Jens and I, we really pushed Matthias that let's try to get together like the good old times, like for other bands, that you compose something together. So we went to my studio for like sometimes for 2 weeks and then 1 week and then 2-3 weeks, and basically the day started like with mostly with Matthias. Jens was there as well, but me and Matthias, we were in the studio together a lot. So they started with a cup of coffee and then, do you have anything? And then I might have said, well, I had this one melody or this one stupid riff, and then Matthias was like, let's hear it, and then we started composing the song, like from the scratch basically. Somebody had an idea, but not the whole song. So I think that's the biggest difference compared to the old album, because now we were working together. And then in the end we had, I don't know, maybe 20 songs. Of course some were not so good, so some were left like bonus tracks. But also I remember one song that, well, actually there were like 2 songs, and they had some good ideas in them, and we were thinking, but it's not strong enough, what should we do? And then of course somebody got this idea, let's combine them. And then that's how Glory Days was done, because we combined like best parts from 2 songs, and they were like, same tempo, almost same key, let's do it like this, and then we had a song. But basically we had music, we started in the morning and then we almost had the whole music done by a whole day, but lyrics took longer.
Right.
But this is the key for this album.
So very collaborative.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Actually, kind of speaking to that, you now obviously, with 11 years with the same band members, is the longest lineup over a nearly 30-year career of Stratovarius.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
good to know. Good to know.
New facts for you. So obviously that has lent itself, it sounds, to the ease of collaboration. But what do you feel is behind that duration, and what is the impact of that stability on the group?
Well, of course, now we've been playing a lot of live shows with these guys, and I'm happy to say that I have the best players around me. I'm not talking about myself, I'm just a singer, but it's like, it's great, because it doesn't matter how complicated songs you compose, or especially when you play them live, these guys can do it. So it's like, I think we are not like anywhere like this kind of a band who wants to show off, that how fast we can play. And unless it has something to do with the actual song. You know, it's not, you know, that we want to just go there and, you know, like guitar player would want to play like 30-minute solo. But because in the songs there are like difficult parts, but then again we don't, especially me, I don't want to forget that we are still a melodic band. There should be like a good melody in the song, and then the whole song construction can, you know, back it up in more difficult way, if you know what I mean. So it's like, but it's great. These guys can do it.
It's fantastic, yeah, and the very, very talented group. Obviously, like keyboards. I mean, he's been around for ages.
Exactly.
I was just looking at just today, and I had forgotten that he worked with Yngve just years ago, who's also here today.
Yeah, I just asked Jens, are you gonna go to say hi? And he said, yeah, if I see him here.
Yeah, that's amazing. So obviously, next question is ongoing plans. I see that you're touring on. We had mentioned just before the interview here that you're heading off to Finland for the next festival. So you have a lot of European festivals, and then later on some boat shows where you'll be on a big boat, 70,000 tons of
yeah.
So beyond that, what other touring plans do you have? Do you have any plans? You might hear an American accent here. Any plans to go to North America?
We get a lot of requests, but if you know the situation over there, it's like, first of all, the working visas cost like hell nowadays. I don't know how many. They used to be, I think, 400 or 500 per musician or technician, and now it could be like a few thousands. Then you start adding that up, plus the bus rental. I don't know. We are open if there would be like a nice touring package with some other band, but I don't see that happening. Not this year. Maybe not even next year. But you never know. I don't mind going back.
Yeah.
It's been great, but let's see.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and now we're going to talk about looking way far down the road. What do you think about the natural arc and progression of Stratovarius? Where do you see yourselves, not just in the next year or two to come, but in the decades to come? How does this go? Where does this go from here?
Well, now I've seen the signs that since when Matthias joined, when it was 2009, we really released first album. We've been steadily coming up, and of course I've noticed that you can really, sorry to say, fuck up your career very fast, but then it takes time to get back. So this is what happened to us. So now we've been building our career sort of back, and it's been going higher and higher. The fees are getting better, and people seem to like more our music. So I would be happy to see our band in a little bit like, let's say, like on the next level with bigger production in a couple of years, maybe in 3-4 years. And then of course some people have been asking us like, are you gonna have like a really like party for the release of episode, which came out 96, I think. So that would be 2026, 30 years. So
30 years, yeah.
That's worth the idea. So let's see. We have some loose plans, and then of course at one point we need to start composing new stuff.
Right.
But it's kind of a hectic times. A lot of us, we have like kids, and then Matthias is partly living in Brazil half of the year, and Jens is living in Sweden. So to get like everybody together, that's already like, you need to do a lot of planning, but it's possible.
Right. And you mentioned, I'll reference this, you had mentioned it's easy to mess up your career very easy. That was obviously, there was a very public breakup. Is that what you're referencing? Yeah. And so you feel like it's been taking some time to come back from that.
Yeah, it took like, what is it, 15 years? So.
Yeah, was that 2008 or something?
Basically all the shit happened around 2005, 6, even before that. But I don't want to get back to that. But
we won't even touch it. No, it was already too much printed on it already. Okay. And then last question for you personally. Obviously, you've done your own personal projects here and there. Any other plans that you've got?
I've been thinking, and some people have been asking when you're gonna do your 4th solo album. I think I did 3 already.
Right.
But it could be an idea. And then of course I've been doing a lot of like duo shows and some other acoustic stuff. Me and Jani Liimatainen went to South America to do a tour. When was it? 2017 or 18? I don't remember. That was actually a success. We played maybe, I have to just try to remember, maybe 25 shows in 26 days or something.
Oh, wow.
But like a lot.
Yeah.
Like basically almost every day, and that was very, very nice. Of course, it was easy, only 2 guys and the tour manager going around. So then no super early wake ups and
Yeah.
so. But yeah, I've been doing those, and of course I've been sometimes giving singing lessons. I might do that too, but
Okay, well,
bits and
fantastic.
pieces.